Great. Welcome back to yet another episode of Pure versus Legit versus Series. I won the die roll. I will play. I'm playing Sidisi Whip against Josh Clater, who I know is on. Who I know is on Mardu, mid range. Deck that won Grand Prix San Antonio, I think. I'm going to keep this. It has a lot of interaction. We don't have a threat, but if we draw it into one, it'll be really good. I'm going to go ahead and just lead with the Opulent Palace. I'll be able to play a Sylvan Caryatid next turn, and the turn after that, if I don't draw anything, I can play Satyr Wayfinder and Thoughtseize. I'm not in a hurry to cast Thoughtseize early in this matchup because it's not particularly time sensitive. We're probably going to end up taking some sort of removal anyways because we have this Murderous Cut to deal with the creature. Okay, this is a Seeker of the Way. Hordet Queen is very good. Before I play a land, I'm going to cast Wayfinder and see what we get. And we miss. But we have a very full graveyard for Murderous Cut next turn. Going to go ahead and Thoughtseize, and then I'll play the Scryland. Let's see what's up. Wow, okay, Butcher, Rabblemaster, Outburst, Jet, Utter End, and Battlefield Forge. So our plan is to end up going over the top with a Hornet Queen. The Hornet Queen is good at stopping Butcher, so I'm not worried terribly about that. I think taking the Hordling Outburst is the play. And then I can trade my Wayfinder for the Goblin token that Rabblemaster makes. When I untap, I can just Murderous Cut the Rabblemaster. And eventually let Hornet Queen protect me against Butcher. So that seems like the play. We'll grab the Outburst. I'll just play the Temple. Looking for some sort of action. Sagu Mauler is not bad. I can morph it and cut next turn. And hopefully that'll get us where we need to be. Actually, I don't want to morph the Mauler. I think I made a mistake because of the Magma Jet. Like, Josh has a very limited number of ways to deal with the an unmorphed Sagu Mauler, so we don't want to play it face down. We will just pass the turn. Okay. So, Josh misses his fourth untapped land. So we know he has Butcher, Magma Jet, and Utter End. We're not going to block because he can just Magma Jet targeting us. We need... Okay, that's good. Oh, hopefully we are able to. Hopefully CDC sticks around, and then the trigger gets us a zombie. It does indeed. Great. That's fantastic. Magma Jet is happening. Targeting us. Okay. Josh is probably planning on going over the top with Butcher and ending the game in a few swings. So if we draw lands, that won't happen because of Hornet Queen. If we don't manage to draw lands, then it'll be a problem. Oh, Crackling Doom. That's not good. Takes care of our CDC, and we go down to 7. But I'm not going to block. Oh, that works. Guess we just rip another CDC. But we whiff on. We whiff on the trigger. So no zombie for us. We know about Butcher and Utter End. Oh man, that's not good. I don't think I can afford to block. I think I just have to rip a removal spell for the Butcher. Or I'm dead. Alright, well that's it. Because Butcher has flying, and I didn't get there. That showcased one of the more aggressive draws of the Mardu deck. Plus me stumbling a bit. So, and keeping the Saga Muller on top when I shouldn't have. Let's go to sideboarding. I want... Sultai Charm is pretty good because it answers Rabble Masters and Seekers, as well as hitting Chain to the Rocks. I like the 4th Whip because a lot of the time we're going to be just grinding. I like Reclamation Siege because, again, it hits Chain to the Rocks. It might not be necessary, but I think it's pretty good. And I like Ashiok to diversify our threats a bit. Not a huge fan of Bile Blight, but might be better than Sultai Charm, or Sultai Charm might not be great. Disdainful Stroke doesn't hit a ton of cards that we care about, although game 2 might be relevant. Drown in Sorrow and Nylea's Disciple are definitely not where we want to be. I like all of our top end. Doomwake seems a little unimpressive. CDC seems fine. Courser seems fine. Thoughtseize seems fine. Maybe we shave a couple of Caryatids. They're kind of dead air. A little bit. I probably want to cut the Sultai Charms. They're probably not great. Caryatids are dead air a bit because they just, like, against a Thoughtseize deck and a deck that's probably bringing in board wipes, I don't think we want to be drawing O3s for 2, even if they ramp us. I might want a Disdainful Stroke. Not entirely sure. We can probably cut some number of Murderous Cuts as well. maybe 2 cuts and then bring in 1 more Caryatid. Just to help us. We are running a relatively low land count, so I think this is what we'll try. Although Sultai Charm might prove better than Murderous Cut, we'll see. Let's give it a shot and see how the game plays out. Whew, just in time. We will be on the play. This is a mulligan. This is not a mulligan. I'm going to lead on Caryatid because if I end up naturally drawing an untapped land or a Courser, I'd rather play those than the Wayfinder. Josh probably takes Caryatid or Wayfinder, although he might just take Whip. Yeah. I think Whip is the optimal choice there. Oh, come on, Courser of Kruphix. Okay, no red mana yet from Josh. Can get either a Forest or a Temple of Mystery. I want to get the Temple. Temple seems a lot better. And then, even though we have the Temple, I'm going to go ahead and play the other Wayfinder to get another land. We can start scrying next turn. And again, I'm gonna err on the side of better mana with the Opulent Palace. Although Swamp would have been a fine pick as well. One thing we do not need is more lands. Yep. Hushwing Gryff. That card is frustrating. Shuts down Sidisi, Hornet Queen. Okay, well, now I'm just responding by cutting the Gryff here. Thoughtseize can fizzle. Single Hordling Outburst shuts down all of our aggression. But we do have a downfall for a big creature like a Butcher, if that ends up coming up. Yeah. Decides not to sacrifice. Probably because he doesn't want to run into what we actually have, which is a removal spell. Yeah, I'm gonna cast this Wayfinder. Hope to hit Scryland. Idle Llanowar Wastes. I'll play the Polluted Delta, but I'm not going to crack it. Because if I draw a Courser, it'll help me filter my draws. This is a Sarkhan. This is a Sarkhan. Gross. Excuse me. So we're taking 4. That was a good draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we don't have to crack the fetch. That's fine. Green. Green. And this enables us to actually, I believe, go after Josh's face. Because we have this cadre of insects in the air. So we're trading with the Wayfinder, trading the Wayfinders for the tokens, which is actually entirely fine. It reduces Josh's pressure so that we can actually get some damage in. Ooh. Soul of Innistrad is good. What do we have in the graveyard, though? Like, what? How do we take advantage of it? We have Sidisi, Courser, and a Wayfinder, I guess, to return. That's fine. I'm not going to bother dealing with the Sarkhan. I'm just going to... Actually... No, if Josh had an End Hostilities, he would have used it. But... I don't know. I don't think I'm going to lose this game if Sarkhan dies. I don't think that there's any real way Josh can get back into it. Oh, wow. Okay. But I do think that if Sarkhan gets to stay alive, Josh has a lot of play. So... I'm going to go ahead and try to kill the Sarkhan. Of course, got hit with a Murderous Cut, so that didn't happen, but I can definitely kill the Sarkhan next turn and leave back blockers. Oh, wow. Okay. That's just insane. So now I'm going to fetch. And I'm going to whip back Hornet Queen. And I'm going to go for the face. Okay. Josh concedes. Because Whip of Erebos plus Hornet Queen is nuts. Okay, so let me think. If I want to change how I sideboarded. I don't think so. Sultai Charm actually seems better than Murderous Cut. Even though Charm doesn't hit Butcher, I have Hornet Queens and Downfalls and Thought Seizes. Also, just the ability to attack and pressure Butcher. Or pressure Josh so he has to interact. But also, like, Sultai Charm is great because against these more, like, against these more controlling decks, we end up having a lot of air late game, like Wayfinders and Caryatids, Reclamation Sage to a certain extent, Thoughtseize to a certain extent, depending on the situation. And so the Sultai Charm's loot ability is very relevant. And I'll submit like this. We'll see how it goes for game 3. This whip deck feels sweet, by the way. I don't have any green mana, so I'm going to mulligan. We'll join Josh in Paris. This hand is great. I have Thoughtseize into Caryatid into Courser. Oh wow, and I draw a whip. This time I am definitely going to Thoughtseize on 1 because of curve considerations. Okay, so you have Outburst, Butcher, Utter End, Wingmate Rock. Honestly, not worried about any of these cards, but Outburst seems the most frustrating for my game plan. I can deal with like Butcher and Rock if Butcher doesn't have haste. But and Utter End stops whip, but I have more whips and I have a lot of targets, so there's a chance I can get Josh to blow the Utter End on something else. I'm just going to take the Hordling Outburst and deprive him of any early plays. At least that's the plan if Magic Online decides not to be. There we go. Alright. Okay. That's good. So it would be awesome if Josh misses his land drop, but he doesn't. Ooh, that's really good. Think we can make him Utter End the Ashiok, but I'm not sure if I want to. Courser starts getting me advantage more immediately and lets me work up to Sagu Mauler. So I think I'm still going to play Courser, even though Ashiok is really good. I'll try to Mize a land. Didn't get land, but that's fine. First things first, we'll play the Temple. I think we want to bottom the Thoughtseize. And then cast Whip. Or cast CDC, sorry. Get as much power into play as possible, so that we can then race with Whip. Dumps a Courser. Josh needs another white source. Okay, cool. Another butcher. Jeez. Okay. I think I just play Sagu Mauler and pass. Okay. I don't have the island, it's in the bin, so... Okay. Alright, the hope is that Josh just plays Wingmate Rock here. Yeah. So... to play whip, then I think I have to attack with everyone. Let's see, so Josh, you know me 16 next turn, which means I need to gain 11. So yeah, I have to Alpha Strike. I shouldn't have played my land. Although, okay, it doesn't end up punishing me. So unless Josh has a burn spell, he has to block. But he can block, like, say, Sidisi and the zombie. Take 8, and then still be able to try to kill me. If he draws a burn spell. The big thing I'm worried about, obviously, is the fact that Josh gets to Utter End the Whip before I can get back Hornet Queen or something similar. And he gets to gain 4 life up to 12, and I can only attack for 10. So I think this game is in the bag. But he does have to Utter End the Whip. Or burn me out. Let's just fire off a Thoughtseize. Okay. Just to see what card he had. If he brought in a sideboard card and we saw it with Thoughtseize, that would have given us some information for sideboarding next match. But that was a close one, pretty back and forth. Playing Ashiok earlier might have been really powerful instead of playing like the Courser. But we just got smashed in the air. I still think that Hordeling Outburst was probably the correct pick, although Wingmate Rock might have been as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll get back to another match. Just stick with us.